Hello YouTube, More Masa here from More Masa Gaming, and I know the lighting here is bad because of my ceiling fan right here. I don't really have anywhere decent to actually record this, and this is also the same room that I've been doing my previous deck profiles for, and basically the last couple of videos that I've posted, which is the Dark Irregular and the Shadow Paladin from the Team AL4, has been getting a little bit of some backlash, and I would like to actually put in a little bit extra on top of that. It's basically, let me actually grab my decks here and I can actually explain a lot more. I'll just grab the Shadow Paladin deck here. Basically, the reason that I'm running a lot of the cards that I am is mostly for actual preference. And that's basically it. Uh, Basically, I don't run 4 of the blaster javelins. I only run 2 for the simple fact that there's not a lot of counter blasting in this deck. I run 4 of the Dark Dictator basically because I don't want to run 3 because he's still better than Badabkar, which I do run 2 copies of. And the reason I run 2 copies of him is for the simple fact that if I only run 1, I run the chance of never drawing it, and if I don't draw it, then that's the potential that I won't be able to do certain combos. But now, with that, there have been a few comments, and the person who's been repeatedly doing this on these videos, I have actually reported and blocked because of harassment. But that's neither here nor there. I don't want to discourage anybody from leaving comments. But the only reason that this person was blocked and reported was for the simple fact of the hateful nature of which his comments have continuously been. Now, I can understand giving negative feedback. I can understand giving even a thumbs down to a video, a thumbs up to a video, or anything like that. But at the same time, going out of your way to tell somebody to build their deck the same way you personally built yours is going a little bit too far. Everybody has their own little way about going things. We all have our different play styles. We all have everything that we like to do differently. And this deck here is not meant to be competitive. It is a competitive build, of course, but it's not meant to be competitive. I built this deck the way that I did because I personally have fun with it. I bought a case, I built it the way I wanted to, so that's the whole reason that there is a signed Blaster Dark Rin image rare in this because I bought the case. But now, as for the Phantom Blaster Dragon, yeah, I would have gotten 4 copies of that regardless, even if I had to spend the $20 to $30 a piece for them. I might not have got the SVR version, but either way, that's the thing. But now, if I didn't buy the case, I wouldn't have gotten this, and this was basically one reason why I did get the case. But the reasonings of why I bought said case is not for this video. This video is basically me to put out there the decks that I personally upload. They're not meant to be competitive. They're not meant to be taking like, oh my god, it's the next best damn thing in the meta type of deal. No. I'm sharing a deck that I personally love, that I built myself, that I might have took a little bit of, well, actually, let me correct that before I continue with that. Morikumo, I didn't look at anything when I first built the deck. The only reason that Mandala Lord is actually made the cut for that deck, which I didn't actually post that video, but it will be uploaded here shortly in the next day or two. No, I'm not going to edit it because I do not have editing software on this computer, but it will be uploaded nonetheless in the next couple of days, depending on my work schedule. But we've went through the Shadow Paladins on a few of the issues that one person did bring up. Another one was saying that Charon here is not meant to be run at 4. I can see where he's coming from, but at the same time, he's the only card that can countercharge in this deck because, like I said in my deck profile, I do not run Cursed Lancer for the simple fact that it's clunky, for the simple fact that you have to run, well, you have to call him on an occupied circle. One of the other things that I believe he pulled up is the fact that he wanted me to run 3 Dictator and 1 Batokar, which, like I just said earlier, I run this deck the way it is because I personally like the way I play. I like the way this deck runs. This deck here does not go down easily in a lot of the matchups that I've had with it, which currently I've only went up against Nova Grappler. I've went up against Pale Moon, Royal Paladin, and Dark Irregular with it so far. So there's still a lot of matchups that I need testing against, but that's just what I've currently done. Mostly what I go up against is friends, which are playing Royal Paladin, Dark Irregular, Pale Moon, and Nova Grappler, which is basically all I've tested against. But at the same time, I've also got my Morikumo build, which I have tested this against once, maybe twice at most, with some friends playing one of the decks. But now, some of the things that I will actually grab my Dark Irregular deck here, and I'll go in with a couple of things that he was saying. Let me look through it here. Like, he was basically saying that Demon Eater was not meant to be played at 4. But like I said previously in this video, this deck is just something that I like to have fun with. Demon Eater itself is a card that basically builds soul. The moment that you ride it, 1, you get a protect marker. 2, every time you guard, everything you guarded with goes into the soul, minusing the cost for a nullify. But with that said, I'll also point out the fact that the markers would dissipate the moment they leave the guard circle, but if you were to use an effect that would send a card from the hand to the soul, that's Doreen's effect, even if that card was a marker, which was stated in a few other people's ruling videos. They were also stating that Death Spoiler here was meant to be run at, I think they said 2 or 3, which currently I'm only running like 2 copies because I'm running 10 grade 3s. They were wanting me to run only 8 for some unknown reason. I personally like 10, but that's just me. But yeah, like, they were basically saying that everything in the deck was wrong. There was just nobody wanted to do anything right. And basically, no matter how I would build this deck, even if it was a complete and utter net deck, which none of my decks are. But some of the decks I did take some inspiration. Like, after I built this deck here, I did take some inspiration from different fights. I took some inspiration from a few other YouTubers. And I changed a few of the cards around that I was playing because I see why they put it in. And I was thinking to myself, well, why didn't I think of this? That's actually something that would benefit this deck more than the cards that I was running. So I experimented with it. It works, so I kept it in. It's like, personally, I like running the draw PGs like a lot of people do now, because it frees up more grade 1 space, so you can run basically 4 more grade 1s normally, because you don't have a nullifier taking up 4 crucial spots for that. I mean, everybody's going to run 16 triggers anyways, so you might as well add some draw power to it. Now, but like I've said probably 5 or more times in this video, none of my decks are meant to be the next best thing. They're not meant to be top meta. They're not meant to do anything like that. They're just basically meant to just be something that to have fun with. That's basically all my decks are. It's just something to have fun with. Yes, a few of these cards and these decks are expensive, like the V rares, SVRs, and all that crap. But yeah, personally, I don't think anybody should tell any individual person how to build their deck if they don't know the reasonings why they built the deck the way they did in the first place. But at the same time, even telling somebody how to build their deck and helping them build a deck are 2 completely different things. As a lot of people here probably know, or by the time you actually watch this video anyways. It's like Different Fight just recently posted a video about net decking, and of course it's both good and bad, but this isn't a reaction video to stuff that Different Fight's done, but he does have some good points. Even in that still apply to this, is a lot of the cards in here were placed in here for a reason, even though you, the viewers, may not understand that reasoning without actually playtesting the deck as is or going up against it as is. You still have to believe that there was a reason or a situation that those cards were put in there for to counteract. It's like Doreen the Thruster's just in there because it's a staple. Every time a card goes in, she gains 5k, and she just makes some very overpowered numbers, like no matter which way you slice it. It's like I've had No Life King basically swing in for over 100,000 in one of my previous matchups, just for the simple fact of the unprecedented amount of shit that went into the soul that turn with the Doreen, on top of No Life King's skill putting 3 rear guards into the soul and then gaining 1,000 for everything from that. And keep in mind that I'm only stating the 3 rear guards and not the card that you got to add from the hand to the soul, because either way, you're still giving Doreen 20,000 power, which would put her at 26 boost on her own before you even pull a trigger. Then No Life King's swinging in for over 100 with a critical, which is almost unblockable to start with. But with standard numbers, it's not as bad as it would be in the OG era and beyond. But yeah. But this was basically just a little disclosure and disclaimer, however you want to basically put it. The title basically says it's a disclaimer, and that's basically what this is. But overall, this was basically just me ranting a little bit of a few things, and hopefully that I can avoid this situation again in the future with people just coming off overly negative, commenting on every single deck profile, and just being complete and utter cancerous to the channel, to basically anybody who reads it. It's just one of those things that really got to me, and was one reason why I didn't post the Murakumo deck as soon as I did with the other two videos, and why those two videos have been up for about a week or two now, or at least since set release anyways. Like right now it is November 4th, and it's currently only like almost 11 o'clock my time, which I'm Eastern Standard, so it's like 11:40ish. So this is Morimasa from Morimasa Gaming signing out.